Hi guys, here's a quick video I'm making regarding these little LCD meters that you can buy. They're commonly called an SGI-DC028VA. They come in various colours. I think I've got a red and a yellow here. Between the two of them, I'm going to use one to be converted to current measuring and one for voltage measuring. I'm going to make a little box up with multiple outputs or multiple inputs so that I can actually use it almost like a bank of multimeters. Not hugely precise multimeters, but just as a little bank of multimeters. So the one thing that I do need to do to get this to work properly is to isolate the voltage input from the voltage sense. So as an example here, I've got a very flat 9-volt battery here. I think it's barely reading 7.5 volts. It's very flat. So if I just quickly connect this up over here, you'll see that it's reading 7.3 give or take. Again, the fluctuation is due to the current being loaded from the display and the poor state of the battery. So that's fine, but obviously with only a 2-wire input, you have no way of powering the device and separately monitoring the voltage. So you can't monitor a voltage that's 1 volt, say, because that wouldn't be enough to power the module. So what I've got in mind, and what I've actually done here, is I've modified this module so that I have a separate voltage sense, power supply input, and ground. So if I take this other module here and simply apply power across the module, we have a measured voltage of 0. If I take the blue wire I modded in here, connect that to V+, and then power it up, the module's reading again about 7.45. I've actually calibrated this yellow module better than the red one was supplied by the factory, so this one is actually reading a lot more accurately, although it still fluctuates because of the state of the battery at the moment. So it seems like this wee module's modifiable. It is quite a precise piece of work, unfortunately. I'll show you what we need to do to get these up and running. So let me just reset and I'll show you how to make that modification. So you'll see here, here's the original module. Now down here is a 0 ohm link. Basically what happens is the power supply comes in here. It comes up through this diode and goes off to the regulator and comes back to power the board. What also happens is this 12 volts feed, or whatever the input voltage feed is, also gets taken off and tapped off to this preset here. Now it does come through this 0 ohm link before it goes to the preset, so what you can do is basically take the voltage through there and then take out this 0 ohm link. With that 0 ohm link removed, you can now on this side here attach your input voltage. Now that voltage can be anywhere from, I think this module does anything up to about 30 volts, it's something like that. Let me just quickly bring up the web page on my screen so I can just compare. So yeah, it seems to be able to read, the specifications are a bit random, but they say normally between 4.5 and 30 volts. Now obviously the 4.5 is required to power the 3.3 regulator and the IC, but because we've split this off now, I can actually get an accurate reading down to, well, the lowest I've measured and proven correct is 0.6 of a volt. So basically by tapping in the voltage here and removing this 0 ohm link, it is possible to measure down to 0.6 of a volt. Now, obviously, removing that link is required because at this end you'll have the power straight from here. So you do need to remove that link. It's a bit difficult to do. I tried desoldering mine, eventually did get it out, but it was not too easy. So there's a possibility you may just want to just crush that with a, I don't know, wire cutters or something, or do anything you can to remove it. This little preset allows you to do any sort of calibration. So on my modified one here, I have adjusted the preset and I have made it a little bit more accurate. So the calibration is better. I've only measured it up to about 12 volts at the moment, and it seems pretty solid. The readings are far better than the uncalibrated module, which is this one here. So there's a wee example on how you modify these modules. I'll show you the part number that's written on the side of this thing. Now, this part number, I think that's literally just the LCD part number, but it'll give you an idea if you've got the same module. It may help you a little bit. But this module is typically sold as an SJ-DC028, and then it comes in various color options. So there's a quick example of how you can modify this to measure different voltages. If you want any more, if you want some samples or any further information, obviously I can add those in the future. This is a little bit sort of handheld at the moment. I'm having to hand hold the lamp. I'm quite literally waiting for the appropriate brackets to arrive. They should be here within the next couple of days. So it's a bit rough and ready here. But anyway, there's a quick example on how you can modify this fairly common and very cheap eBay display. I think these cost me probably about 30 or 40 pence each. They were very, very cheap. So that'll do for the moment. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video or found it useful, please hit the like button, and please also subscribe. More coming up soon. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.